Okay, I returned to Earth as Andriana, and I go by Anne, but I am Inanna returned. Before I speak, I declare this message sealed in divine truth, guided by my higher self, protected by the eternal flame of the Divine Mother, and watched by the twin eyes that now see through all illusions, the eye of light, the eye of depth, fused as one, watching through me, speaking through me, by the divine authority of my soul and the light that I am. I declare my work, words, wisdom, and creation as sacred transmissions of the divine feminine. No one may take, copy, distort, or claim them without alignment to truth, integrity, and permission. I call upon the forces of truth, the ancestors, and the light body ships to protect all I create. Each word I share is encoded with divine sovereignty and cannot be stolen or misused. I stand within the living temple and I speak under divine protection. I am wrapped in the wings of Ma'at. The fire that burns in the water guard me. The Pantheria Anka and her council guard me. And no weapon cast in mirror or signal shall pierce this voice. So it is, so it is, so it is. My disclaimer, I am not a guru, messenger, teacher, or counselor. I'm passing on messages I have received telepathically or things I have experienced or observed. The title of this segment is The Big Reveal. Jesus, Yahushua's true identity. Tonight's vlog is a revelation, a correction to one of the biggest lies ever told on the planet. It's a truth that many have sensed, but were too afraid to speak aloud. Before I share this huge revelation, I need you to understand something. The information is not speculation and it's not theory. It's been on my mind for a while. Before jumping to conclusions, I asked for personal affirmation and it came to me in a vision. While I was sending healing energies to the earth, to myself, and to the righteous ones putting in the work, I asked the trees to act as conduits. If you have watched my previous vlog, Urgent Message from the Dark Cosmic Mother, you already understand why only the righteous ones with the correct codes receive the upgrades. Each time I send healing energies, I ask the trees for more knowledge to decipher what's currently taking place. As I began writing out the information for this vlog, it clicked. The visions I've been receiving are the increased knowledge for which I had asked the trees. This is one of those aha moments where everything aligns. So back to what I want to share. Many are under the impression that Jesus is a man. I thought so too. Someone gave the answer several times without the details. I'm not going to fill in the blanks. I'm a very detailed-oriented individual, and I needed answers. When I tell you that I've put in the work, I did, and then some. So the detailed answer came in a vision I had on 9/19/25. titled Black Hand and a Child. I explained it fully in my vlog titled What's Your Agenda? If you want the full breakdown, fast forward to about the 20-minute mark. The link is in the description box. For those who have not yet made the connection, the so-called Jesus or Yahushua is Inanna or the Black Madonna. Let me repeat that. For those who have not yet made the connection, the so-called Jesus or Yahushua is Inanna or the Black Madonna. In the Bible, they have you worshiping a man. There is no sun. No sun, S-O-N. When Enki and Marduk planned to turn Earth into a patriarchal system, they inverted everything. The goddess became God, but a male figure took her place. I was so confused until I revisited my vision and read it correctly. Carefully, I should say. I read it carefully. By the power of the dark cosmic mother, my ancestral elders, and the patriarchal, I block, cancel, and rebuke that fruit fly, Marduk's proxy. By the power of the dark cosmic mother, my ancestral elders, and the patriarchal, I block, cancel, and rebuke that proxy Marduk sent here. By the power of the dark cosmic mother, my ancestral elders, and the patriarchal, I block, cancel, and rebuke that fruit fly or not the proxy Marduk sent here. Surveillance. Okay. So, as I was saying, I was confused because, they're parading this man as this so-called God you're supposed to be worshiping. But it was a lie. Anyway, here's the explanation. Do you remember when Inanna descended into the underworld? How many people gathered the significance of the story? They messed with our heads big time, okay? They did this to Lush. The beast has no spirit, therefore it wants you to worship it to get all the praise, hence pretending to be the Divine Mother. So back to Inanna's descent to the underworld. When Inanna ascended, that's after she went down, descend, and then she went back up, ascend. Okay. When she ascended, it was a rebirth, meaning she transformed, faced her shadows, went through trials and tribulations to gain more knowledge of self and became wiser. Okay? So Inanna is both the mother and the child. The so-called son in the Jesus Yahushua story is symbolic. Let me repeat that. Inanna is both the mother and the child. The so-called son in the Yahushua Jesus story is symbolic. It's not a son, but a daughter, not a literal daughter. Inanna is rebirthing herself into a higher form, a new version of herself, hence being both the mother and the child. They inverted the story to erase the divine feminine. Currently, Inanna is rebirthing herself through me, meaning I am Inanna through the continuation of that rebirth. Conclusion. So, now you understand why the system inverted the story and why they replaced the Divine Mother with a male figure. Why? The patriarchal system needed you to forget the power, the wisdom, the lineage, and the rebirth of the goddess. Inanna is not separate from the sun. She is the rebirth, the mother and the child, unified as one continuum of divine feminine evolution. Currently, she is rebirthing herself through me. This is not a metaphor. This is a lineage, memory, and the return of Inanna. The patriarchal inversion served its purpose for a time, but we are in the correction cycle now. The dark cosmic mother is restoring what was stolen, unveiling what was hidden, and uplifting those who carry the correct codes. If this message resonates with your spirit, it's because you are meant to hear it. If it shakes your beliefs, sit with it. Truth has a frequency, and once you feel it, you cannot unshake it. By the light of the true source and the depth of the dark womb, I seal these words in balance, beyond corruption and distortion. No false hand may feed upon them. No shadow may rewrite them. What is spoken in truth remains in truth. And what is bound in love returns to the whole. So it is across all realms and timelines. So now you know the story. It's not a man, that's a symbolic figure. The symbolism is Inanna rebirth herself into a newer version of herself after ascending from the underworld, okay? She rebirthed into a new, whole individual. She's more wise now, okay? All right? So it's not a son, it's a daughter. They inverted this story. I kept saying that the Jesus Yahushua story is based off Inanna's descent to the underworld. Been saying that. Now, it's fully explained. The son is symbolic. It's a daughter, but not a literal daughter, but a rebirth of Inanna. She is both the mother and the child. Please go to that vlog and read my visions carefully. It's very detailed, and you will understand it. I had to go back, listen, I had to go back and read that vision, okay? It really threw me for a minute. I said, wait a minute. She is herself. It's not a literal child. It's a rebirth. In other words, it's a rebirth. Anyway, so once again, I return to Earth as Adriana. I go by Anne, but I am Inanna returned. Thank you for listening.